Good evening, welcome to Rastak Samzaka Jacob. TMC MP Mahua Moitra is in all kinds of trouble. Last night, her friend and CEO of the Hiranandani Group, Darshan Hiranandani, put out a statement which has now been forwarded to the chief of the Lok Sabha Ethics Committee, in which Mr Hiranandani has said that Mahua Moitra had shared her parliamentary login credentials so that he could directly pose questions on her behalf. And often, these were questions that were targeted at the Adani Business Group and its alleged proximity to the Prime Minister. Now, if this is true, it is a massive breach of parliamentary privilege. It's a breach of trust and parliamentary processes. And also, most importantly, this is a betrayal of the mandate given by the people of her constituency, the people who voted her to be a member of parliament. Now, that brings us to the question, the moot question on Brass Tacks tonight. Should Mahua Moitra be removed as a member of parliament if the ethics committee finds that indeed her login credentials were violated?
Today when I appeared, Jay personally said he had an objection to me appearing. I immediately withdrew and I said I don't want to do this case. It's been adjourned to another date. I'm no longer concerned with the case. I've withdrawn from it.
Completely believe that the Central Bureau of Investigation and the NIA should take up this issue and see how far this woman went on to violate our national security and breach our national security.
विपक्ष के सारे रास्ते बंद हैं, जैसे इलेक्टोरल बॉन्ड है। इलेक्टोरल बॉन्ड में बीजेपी को ही पैसा मिल रहा है, क्योंकि गवर्नमेंट के पास में सोर्स है कि इलेक्टोरल बॉन्ड के थ्रू पैसा देने वाला है कौन।
सारा विषय सामने आना चाहिए, क्योंकि संसदीय प्रणाली में घूसखोरी की कोई स्थान नहीं।
All right, so this entire story got a massive twist with the claim last night by Darshan Hiranandani, the CEO of the Hiranandani Group, who went on to send this as a signed affidavit to the chairman of the ethics committee and his office. This is what he has alleged in that letter. As of now, these are allegations. They have to be investigated. Mahua Moitra was very ambitious and wanted to quickly make a name for herself at the national level. She was advised that the shortest possible route to fame is by personally attacking the Prime Minister Narendra Modi. The only problem was that Shri Modi enjoyed an impeccable reputation. She thought that the only way to attack Mr. Modi is by attacking Gautam Adani and his group, as both were contemporaries and they belong to the same state of Gujarat. She shared with me her email ID as Member of Parliament so that I could post the questions, oftentimes those questions were against Adani, directly on her behalf when required. Now, over a period with my friendship with Ms. Mahua Moitra, it grew. I also felt that through her, I would get support in other states ruled by the opposition. Importantly, she also made frequent demands of me and kept asking me for various favours which I had to fulfill in order to remain in close proximity with her and get her support. Now, this, like I said, is a claim made by Darshan Hiranandani, who is a corporate CEO, on whose behalf Mahua Moitra was apparently asking questions, parliamentary questions, directed in the House, often against the Adani Group and its alleged proximity with the Prime Minister. Now, Mahua's claim after Mr. Hiranandani's explosive letter is that Mr. Darshan Hiranandani has not been summoned yet by the Lok Sabha Ethics Committee. The content of the letter, she says, is a joke. It's been drafted in the PMO. Every effort is being made to silence me because I've been questioning the government on the Adani matter. My closest friends have been threatened with raids, and also that this is an establishment witch hunt. I will pay any price to protect my nation. In fact, Mahua Moitra continues to remain defiant, and we put out this reaction from the TMC MP. This is part of our Motorola India's best 5G smartphone tweet of the day.
Hello, Moto.
So this is what Mahua Moitra has tweeted, and I quote, welcome answering questions to the CBI and Ethics Committee, which has the absolute majority of BJP members. If and when they call me, I have neither the time nor the interest to feed a Adani driven circus or media trial or answer BJP trolls. I'm enjoying Durga Puja in Nadia Shubho Shashti. That's the end of quote. Now, before we go to our guests, we're getting a piece of breaking news that I need to go to right now. The Parliamentary Ethics Committee Chief, Vinod Sonkar, who's a member of the BJP, member of Parliament, he has reacted and he has confirmed that his office has indeed received Darshan Hiranandani's letter. He says that on the 26th of October, there will be a meeting of the Ethics Committee which has been called for. In that, BJP MP Nishikant Dubey, who had first raised this as a complaint with the Ethics Committee, with the Speaker's office, he has been summoned. He has been asked to be present with all the proofs against Mahua Moitra. Everything will be examined by the committee, is what Mr. Sonkar, the head of that committee, has said. Listen into what he had to say, and then I'll go across to our guests.
देखिए, मेरी ऑफिस ने अभी मुझको सूचित किया है कि हिराचंदानी की एक 2 पेज की चिट्ठी आई है। जैसा कि आप जानते हैं, 26 तारीख को एथिक्स कमेटी की बैठक बुलाई गई है। उसमें निशिकांत दुबे जी को और दूसरे जो वकील साहब हैं उन लोगों को बुलाया गया है। सारे सबूतों के साथ वो आके एथिक्स कमेटी में अपना बयान भी दर्ज कराएं और जो भी सबूत उनके पास है उन सबूत को एथिक्स कमेटी को दे। एथिक्स कमेटी इन सारे सबूतों को संज्ञान में लेगी, उसका एग्जामिन करेगी। एग्जामिन करने के बाद जो भी निर्णय एथिक्स कमेटी का होगा, देखिए ये अभी कहना का जल्दबाजी होगा, लेकिन निश्चित रूप से पहले निशिकांत जी का जो साक्ष्य है उसका एग्जामिन होगा। अभी एक पक्ष और आ गया हीराचंदानी का, उसका भी एग्जामिन होगा। उसके बाद कमेटी निर्णय लेगी कि जो महुआ मोइत्रा है उसका भी पक्ष जानने का प्रयास करेगी। उनके ऊपर जो गंभीर चार्जेस हैं उसके बचाव में वो क्या कहना चाहती हैं, उनके पास क्या पेपर है, उन सब को लेके एग्जामिन करने के बाद ही कमेटी किसी निर्णय पे पहुंचेगी।
All right, so let's get straight to our big debate tonight here on Brass Tacks. Did Mahua Moitra violate her MP oath? That's the big question.
Hello, Moto.
All right, let me go across to our guest now. Aman Sinha, senior advocate in the Supreme Court, joining us. Arun Anand is author and columnist. Siddhabrata Das is a political analyst and will defend Ms. Moitra. Anila Singh is spokesperson of the BJP. Let me start with Aman Sinha first. In your capacity as a senior lawyer, sir, prima facie, there is a charge that was first made by Mr. Nishikant Dubey. That charge has now been corroborated by one of the persons in this saga, Mr. Darshan Hiranandani. He has written to the Ethics Committee. Mahua Moitra is claiming that this is a joke, this whole thing has been drafted by the PMO and that she's being attacked and she's being targeted because she was attacking the Modi government for its alleged proximity to the Adani Group. As of right now, these are allegations and allegations corroborated by a person in this saga, but should an investigation not prove whether those allegations are true, whether indeed Ms. Moitra compromised her login credentials and gave it to all and sundry to ask questions on her behalf and directly post them on the Lok Sabha website?
Zaka, these are grave, serious allegations against a sitting MP for money laundering, for indulging in corruption, and not only that, undermining the sanctity of our parliament, undermining our national security itself, handing out to your MP credentials, your direct login and access and password details, etc. to all and sundry, would tantamount to that. I am sure investigative agencies would certainly examine that particular angle also. So therefore, a sitting MP undermining our parliament sanctity, a sitting MP undermining our national security to that extent is something which is absolutely shocking and astonishing. And let me tell you, Zaka, that there are all ingredients of a criminal offence which are being made out very clearly. There is clearly the element of criminal conspiracy is made out. If bribe is given and bribe is taken, then certainly provisions of the Prevention of Corruption Act are attracted. And therefore, I am sure investigative agencies and prosecution would, as they go ahead, would examine all these angles. And in fact, the other larger angle, Zaka, which has emerged is that because Mahua Moitra was working under guidance of Rahul Gandhi, as it has emerged from affidavit of Darshan Hiranandani. And if that were to be the case, that angle also needs to be examined, because it seems that since Rahul Gandhi and Mahua Moitra and all the opposition, they have been not able to match or compete against the political standing of Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji. They are just trying to target him by one way or another. In fact,
Okay,
Mr. Hiranandani has said in his affidavit.
I'll leave the politics aside for a minute. Let me deal with the legal aspects first.
It's not about politics. What I'm saying is that larger angle also has to be examined.
Got it. Let me ask Siddhabrata Das. Siddhabrata Das, whether Ms. Moitra was doing this for cash or for favours received, and one industrial house's representative was filing questions on her behalf, targeting another industrial house, these are matters of investigation. But if indeed she has shared her login credentials with a third party, and that third party was posing questions directly on her behalf on the Lok Sabha website, that is a very serious breach of ethics as a member of parliament. It's a betrayal of the people who elected her from her constituency. How can you possibly, Mr. Das, justify this if this is indeed true? And this is a fairly easy thing to investigate. All you need to do is to check the login times and the IP addresses from where the login was made and see if Ms. Moitra was in that place at that given point of time. That's fairly easy to check.
See, an investigation is going on in the ethics committee. Mahua Moitra's legal team will face all the questions, and at the same time, the claims, all the allegations that are coming must have substantial proof to it. So keeping all these things aside, because it's an investigation underway, I do not have the facts to come to a conclusion. But the thing is that the entire saga, that when questions are posed to Mr. Adani, so the desperation to defend or malign or whatever, this only reaffirms that somewhere Mahua Moitra's questions have hit the bull's eye.
No, Mr. Das. Mr. Das. Let's be clear about these two issues.
Please let me finish.
No, Mr. Das. One second. I want to clarify for the benefit of our viewers. I want to clarify for the benefit of our viewers. These are two separate issues. Ms. Moitra is well within her right to question whatever she wants, whoever she wants, allege whatever kind of proximity between politicians and corporate houses. That is a separate matter, right? The matter of debate right now is, was she giving her parliamentary login ID and credentials to a third party? That is a complete breach of ethics, a breach of trust. Why is she not answering that very simple question? She can, she's put out tweets and statements. Let me come to the video wall here. Mr. Das, she's put out a 2-page statement today. She's put out multiple tweets today. I have not seen one sentence which says, I challenge, I dare the investigators to prove that my login credentials were used in places where I have not been to or where I was not in. She has not said that. Why is that? Mr. Das. Mr. Das.
That is something that Mahua Moitra and her legal team will answer. From my position, it is impossible to answer because I was not there. Nobody was there. That is something which the investigation is going on, and only the investigation can come with that fact whether she has shared the information.
The starting point of this story is she had compromised her MP status by sharing
So, you cannot come
login
to a
information
conclusion.
with a third party.
You cannot come
If she
to a
has not done that,
conclusion
if she
before
has
the
not done that,
investigation
Mr.
has
Das, hear
taken-
me out. Please hear me out. If she has not done that, that should be the first line of her defense. That should be the first sentence of every tweet that she puts out. I dare the NIC, I
don't
dare
think
the
she will
CBI,
answer all
I
the
dare the
questions
ethics
on
committee
tweets.
to show
do
that
not-
the login was in Dubai or in London and I was in Bengal or in Delhi. That should be
I
the
don't
first
think
line
she
of
will
defense.
I don't think she will be answering everything on the Twitter. Please leave something for the legal team to answer to the ethics committee. She is the best person to answer this. It is impossible for us sitting
Okay.
here to answer whether what has happened.
So
But
let me
I
ask
can
Anila
keep the
Singh.
legal
Let me
thing
ask
and
Anila Singh.
investigation
Anila Singh,
aside.
again, I want to be
Please.
very, very clear about this. I want to separate, as of now, what are allegations first by a BJP MP, Mr. Dubey, and then subsequently a certain corroboration by one of the individuals concerned, Mr. Hiranandani. But they are still allegations. Whether or not Ms. Moitra did this for money, did she get favours in lieu of these questions being asked on behalf of a representative of a corporate house? These are matters of investigation. So why are you, the BJP and the ethics committee and Mr. Dubey, a member of parliament of your party, why are you guys jumping the gun? That's the question from supporters of Ms. Moitra.
My Ram Ram to all. Definitely law will take its own course, but it doesn't mean that we can sit in denial. The reality is that she has sold off. She has sold off as an MP. She gave access
when you
to a
know
person.
the conclusion.
No. Let
What's
Anila
the
Singh,
need of an
please,
investigation, madam?
please, one at a time.
You
Mr.
don't
Das,
know.
no, Mr. Das, no. No, this is not the way. Let Anila Singh finish. Thank you.
Obnoxious, this is shocking, this is deplorable. Shameless act by a shameless woman who is member of parliament from TMC, which is an allied partner of this Dotted India Alliance or Chickenpox Alliance, whatever you want to say. For their own personal gains, they have kept whole of the parliament at stake, a place where each and every policy of a country is being discussed. Whole lot of people who represent this great country of ours, they discuss there. And this woman, she gave access to a particular person in exchange of cash or the gifts or whatever. So this is the reality. We all know. But the thing is, if you say that she is being simply accused, so we should keep mum and we should not discuss about it. We should not talk about it. It is not going to happen. We are going to talk about it.
No, but
The way she
Anila Singh
sat
ji,
down in Parliament, the
Anila
way
Singh ji,
she
the
sat
question
down
also
election.
arises. 1 week back, a member of parliament of your party makes this grave allegation, writes to the speaker's office, writes to the IT minister, etc. And then within 1 week, one of the players, one of the people who was part of this alleged scam or alleged nexus, suddenly turns approver and sends a letter from Dubai. First, it turns out to be a letter, and then there is a sworn affidavit in front of the CJI in Dubai. How does the story turn within 1 week?
So, Zaka, what you have to say that they shouldn't have been there. The reality shouldn't have come out. A person, do you think that like few days earlier he was the friend of Mr. Mahua? Now he has revealed many things he shouldn't have. I think the right thing has been done. Things are revealed. This is shocking that how people compromise. This is a real character of TMC. This is a real character of this Dotted Alliance. So we very well know it. Definitely law is going to take its own course. But she's a habitual offender. We know it very well. The type of language she uses. She accused media. She accused different member of parliament.
Yeah.
I mean, she definitely insulted Ma Kali. So
Okay.
she's
Let me before I go to Arun Anand, he's been waiting patiently, and also Aman Sinha wanted to come in. But let me show our viewers what the precedent on this is. And there was a very similar case that happened in 2005. It was called the Cash for Query scam, in which 11 members of parliament, this was a sting operation carried out by a private television network. It showed these MPs taking or agreeing to take cash for questions that were asked in parliament. Those questions then got subsequently asked. P.K. Bansal, who was a member of the Congress at that time, he headed a panel, the ethics committee at that time. They probed the matter. They tabled the report in the Lok Sabha. Mr. Somnath Chatterjee was the speaker at that time. the ethics panel recommended stern action, including expulsion of those 11 members of parliament. There were 10 from the Lok Sabha and I think 1 from the Rajya Sabha. Pranab Mukherjee moved a resolution in the House when the report was submitted. That resolution expressly asked for the expulsion of these members. The BJP walked out when this voting was happening. They wanted the matter to be referred to the privileges panel. 11 MPs, all of them were expelled, 10 from the Lok Sabha, 1 from the Rajya Sabha. So this is the precedent in this case. This was in 2005. It was a sting operation done by a television network. And subsequently, because they lost their parliamentary privilege and their status and their the protection from arrest, as it were, for something that happened inside the House once they got expelled as members of parliament, subsequently there was a criminal investigation as well that was launched against these individuals. So let me ask Arun Anand this. You know, the difference between that case and the Mahua Moitra case is, at least so far, we know, yes, questions were asked. Basis the statement of one person, there's the allegation that the login credentials were violated. He has also said, and again, this is his version, that he was bestowing favors and expensive gifts on her. She was demanding that of him, whether it is Louis Vuitton bags and silk scarves and so on and so forth. But this needs to be proved. A money trail or a quid pro quo needs to be proved. Like in the case of the 11 MPs, they were caught on camera in a sting operation receiving money or agreeing to receive money for certain questions which ended up being asked in Parliament. How easy or difficult, Arun Anand, is it going to be to prove this quid pro quo, that Mahua Moitra indeed received either cash or favors or expensive gifts in lieu of these questions that were asked in Parliament? Arun Anand.
Zakat, I don't think it's going to be too difficult to prove. And first, let me address the question that it's, Hiranandani's word against Mahua Moitra. See, it always starts, with one person kind of spilling out the beans, and then generally the investigation, expands. It rarely happens that, that all the culprits or all the things, all the nuts and bolts in the puzzle, they don't open up simultaneously or at one point of time. There is always, one weakest link in the chain, which when opens up, then the investigation happens. Now, unlike 2005, now we have much greater, technology prowess where we can trace the digital footprints. So I think, as you had mentioned also, it's very easy, just look at the IP addresses, and Mahua Moitra has not addressed that question so far while talking about it.
Yeah.
So of course there will be technical investigation also, and due diligence needs to be done, because after all she is an elected member of parliament and she also has certain privileges. So of course I think I heard the comment of Mr. Vijay Sonkar. So it seems it will take some time. It is not, it's politically it appears to be an open and shut case, but of course due diligence needs to be done. One very significant thing which I want to bring out: the TMC leadership has not come out in terms of defending Mahua Moitra so far.
Yes.
Neither any of the leading members of the opposition alliance has come out. In fact, I was reading a statement. The only statement which has come was on October 20th by a Rajya Sabha member of TMC, Dr. Shantanu Sen, who said that we are watching, the TMC leadership is watching this whole controversy unfold very carefully, and a response will be given at an appropriate time. So the very fact that they are not coming in to defend outrightly Mahua Moitra, and neither, either of most of the opposition leaders, or in fact none of the senior opposition leaders, Congress has not commented on it, I believe, so far, what I have read.
Okay.
So this shows that prima facie, I think she is on back foot. She is on a very weak and sticky wicket.
Okay, so let me ask Aman Sinha, now the political question, Aman Sinha. This is obviously going to take some time.
Exactly.
The NIC will have to prove that the login credentials were violated, that she was not there when her parliamentary login was used to file questions. So this is obviously going to take some time. In the meanwhile, her political retort is, look, I'm asking tough questions of this government. I'm putting this government on the mat. Their alleged proximity to this corporate group, the Adani Group, and therefore the government is using this to target me. How are you going to counter that?
Zaka, as you just pointed out, and Arun Anandji was also mentioning, that during her course of all the statements that the concerned MP has made. Not at any single point in time has she ever refuted the contents or the facts as stated in affidavit of Darshan Hiranandani. So obviously that will all be subject matter of investigation. However, even responding to one query which you were putting, that if there is commission of a cognizable offence which has come to anybody's knowledge, then they are duty bound to report it to the investigative authorities, to the police authorities, etc. So therefore, whatever BJP MP has done and the concerned lawyer, Mr. Jay, has done is absolutely in consonance with law. And secondly, this position, I find it really unsustainable, because if a MP, a sitting MP, compromising, undermining the dignity of Parliament, indulging into cash for queries, Zaka, as your backgrounder just pointed out, that on last occasion, when there were such allegations, those MPs were also expelled. So therefore, the question of her continuing, it appears to me prima facie to be completely unsustainable, and it is high time that we are the biggest democracy in the world, Zaka. We all take pride in our Parliament, and is sitting MP trying to undermine the Parliament in this manner is something which certainly, there should be a example which should be set out, that nobody should indulge into such practices in future. Another point, responding to the query that you made, Zaka, that whenever any question is posed to the concerned MP, they come back and they just start playing the victim card. That is the only answer they have got. They could have responded in merit, on merit, to each and every allegation which has been made out. Certainly that was not done. So this is in fact, it might be a interesting case of investigative journalism if you can find out, because somebody was telling me that perhaps 60 questions have been asked by her, and out of those 60, 51 refer to one corporate house. I do not know how many questions she has posed for her own constituency. So the fact of the matter is, Zaka, that if there are certain allegations and if you have nothing to hide, you will respond to it point-wise, specifically. And if you have everything to hide, then obviously you will play the victim card, as the concerned MP is doing.
Siddhabrata Dev, the moot point here is that while she was asking these questions, she sort of portrayed this image that here is this lone MP, a woman MP, who is, railing and ranting and fighting against this giant corporate lobby, which she claims is running this government / influencing this government. Now it turns out that she was asking these questions at the behest of another corporate house, and most importantly, it is a complete betrayal of the people from a pretty backward part of Bengal that she's been voted as an MP from. She has betrayed their trust by basically becoming an agent for another corporate house against another corporate house. So where is the question of representation of the people of her constituency, fighting for the needs of her constituents? That seems to have taken a backseat. And this image of, a parliamentary gladiator against big corporate honchos, that's also been completely broken by this.
Your conclusion is based upon some allegations which are yet to be proved. So first, they must prove those allegations and then draw the conclusion. Else it will be a media trial, which we all do not want.
No, but Mr. Deb, her image has been tarnished. The image that she is somehow at the vanguard of taking on this massive corporate lobby, that image has been completely shattered.
I do not think the people of Krishnanagar looks her in bad light. That will be proved within 6 months. The election is due. But as far as all those lobbyists who wanted to portray her image in bad light, they are trying their best. And I think Mahua Moitra will come out with an idea, with an appropriate answer. Her
but
legal
Mr. Dev, you please explain to me. You please explain to me, Mr. Dev. If the ethics committee is not able to come to a conclusion, obviously 6 months is not such a long time, but if they're not able to come to a conclusion, are you telling me that TMC or any political party will be able to give a ticket to an MP whose image has been so tarnished? They will not. Why would they risk that?
It is too early to say all those things. You just cannot post some allegation and then come to a conclusion. We can do this thing with everyone, with all the BJP MPs.
So,
That is
so
not
the
how
people
things
of
work.
Krishna Nagar will be happy to re-elect
So that
a member of parliament upon whom this huge cloud of corruption hangs over.
That we will see within 6 months. Just wait for 6 months. The people of Krishnanagar will answer.
Okay, so let me ask Anila Singh, final word.
Zaka, just one quick point.
So the moot point being, Anila Singh,
Zaka.
that let the people decide, let her party decide, and ultimately her guilt or otherwise has to be at the end of an investigation. If the ethics committee is convinced and the NIC is able to convince beyond reasonable doubt that her login credentials were violated, then obviously go ahead and expel her from parliament.
Zaka, observing deaf silence from Mamta Didi, it proves or it shows as if even if like she or her party was getting some sort of shade from this whole deal. There was no reaction from her. Why she is not making any sort of statement? Why she has not come out and said that whether Mahua Moitra is right or wrong? She is mum. Why? Was she getting her share? Like any person who is going to observe the whole episode will definitely think that why the party head is not taking any action against her. Why the party is not coming in her favor or saying against her. So this silence proves many things. That perhaps this party, TMC party, was getting its share. Mamta Didi was getting the share from this whole deal.
Okay.
So this tainted alliance, again, you can very well understand that what type of psyche or the working pattern this alliance has.
Aman Sinha, 10 seconds. I got to wrap up. I'll give Arun Anand the final word after that. Yeah, Aman Sinha, quickly, sir, please.
Right, Zaka. Zaka, if she had so much conviction, why would she initiate a settlement with the concerned lawyer, Mr. Jay? So clearly she had a lot to hide. It is evident and apparent, Zaka, that she has rented out the direct credentials of an MP, rented it out to someone for peanuts, and now she's trying to just play a cover-up and a victim card, which is extremely unfortunate.
Arun Anand, final word. The other part of this story is there was this deep personal sort of relationship between the lawyer in question and the member of parliament in question. They had a bad breakup. There was some kind of, personal battle that was going on. So all of these allegations made in the shadow of that bad breakup, should that be given credence? I mean, this publicly dragging someone's personal life, howsoever, in public light that person might be in, is that kosher? That's also a question that's being asked.
I think, Zaka, when you are in public life, there is always this risk of, and especially in the Indian political system, there are hardly, dividing lines between your personal life and your public life. So that's a collateral damage you have to suffer when you enjoy the privileges of being a member of parliament. So one is that, and second is, I think it's very unfortunate. She's a woman MP. She was one of the, whatever she has done, that ethics committee well, but she was one of the most articulate MPs. And the way she has, it appears she might have undermined or this thing. So if it comes out, if the decision comes out against her, I think that will be very unfortunate. It also should kick off a debate, larger debate, that how we should ensure that our MPs do not misuse their positions at the behest of some lobbies.
All right, we'll leave it at that. Thank you very much to all our guests. I guess the ball is now in the court of the parliamentary panel, the ethics committee. They will go into this matter. The first thing that they will need to establish is whether Mahua Moitra violated her login credentials. Were people in different locations where she was not at given points of time, were they accessing her login credentials and posting questions directly on the Lok Sabha website?